There's a wonderful story brought in Arush Olam number 233 about Rav Avraham Baharan Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who lived from 1935 to 1995, a Talmid of Rav Aryeh Levin. He relates the following personal story. I studied in the Eitz Chaim Cheder in the heart of Yerushalayim. At lunchtime, we would eat a meal provided by the school. Finances were strained in those days, and for most of us, this was our main meal of the day. Sometimes we would even get sweet chocolate pudding for dessert as a special treat. One day, I hurriedly ate my portion of pudding and asked for a second helping. I finished that too and decided to ask for a third. The cook refused, saying that many children hadn't even had a second portion. Being that such treats were a rarity back then, I couldn't handle the response, and in my rage, I overturned the pot, splattering the cook, and caused a tumult in the lunchroom. The principal told me to go to the mashgich, Rav Aryeh Levin Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who lived from 1885 to 1969. Known as the Tzaddik of Yerushalayim. I went to him the next morning. The night before, I couldn't sleep since I knew I was in deep trouble and I really could not find any reasonable way to excuse and explain my behavior. So I spent that night imagining the punishment and the embarrassment that I would certainly receive the next day. In the morning, I found myself trembling as I entered Rav Aryeh's room. I sat down and he asked me, "Tell me, is what I heard about you true?" I lowered my head in shame, and in a voice barely audible, I said yes. He continued, "Do I understand correctly that you love chocolate pudding very, very much?" The firm nodding of my head confirmed his words. When I heard what you did, I realized that this must be the case. Otherwise, you never would have behaved in that way. Look here, I brought you chocolate pudding for you to enjoy. At that moment, my tender heart understood that genuine chinuch is much, much sweeter than chocolate pudding. And for the first time in my life, I felt an inner drive to be a mechanech when I'd grow up, a mechanech just like Rav Aryeh Levin. Indeed, little Avraham grew up to become Rav Avraham Baharan, who was a well-known and outstanding mechanech.